Welcome to episode 151 of About the Cards podcast, live tonight on YouTube. As always, with me was Stefan Loeffler at Junk Wax Twins.
Howdy.
Ben Wilson at our trading cards. And I'm Tim Shepler, Big Shep 79. We are a podcast by collectors for collectors, hoping to bring you a smart and insightful podcast discussing trading card collecting. We're live every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific.
10 Central.
On YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Follow us on Twitter About the Cards. You can find us as a podcast anywhere you can locate podcasts. Check out the website aboutthecards.wordpress.com. What is up, fellas? Another great week in collecting. We're just living it up.
Mm-hmm.
I like the shirt tonight, Ben. That's nice.
You're muted.
Ben's on mute, so that's the best we've ever started a show.
Best ever. Yeah, I got this for Christmas a couple years ago, so figured I'd break it out.
I like it. I'm obviously wearing my Giants attire tonight, and that'll be made clear in the new release portion of the show.
Should have been wearing the Rangers.
Oh yeah, well they got no-noed again, but you weren't there.
I wasn't. I was actually at yesterday's game.
Were you at the? That's when Cole had the record, right, for all the strikeouts and walks.
Oh, sorry,
stuff.
yeah, Monday, right? Yep.
Oh, oh, what's up? Trey Murphy's hanging out. He's a long-time listener, first time catching the live stream. What's up, buddy? Welcome.
Hey.
That's awesome.
Love that. Yeah. I got the Warriors and Lakers on. I before we get started, I talked to before Steph hopped in tonight with pre-show. Ben and I were talking. I said I really hate the Yankees. Like I don't know if I could ever be a Yankees fan,
sir.
But definitely would be a Yankees fan before I ever could root for the Lakers. And I want to put the question out there. We talked. The Lakers really have not ever developed any they fell into like every superstar player they've had since I think Elgin Baylor or Jerry West. You know, Wilt came as a trade. Kareem was a trade. They got Magic in a trade with the draft pick of Magic from the Jazz, I believe. I believe the pick for James Worthy was a compensation for the Jazz signing old Norm Nixon. It's vice versa and I think Gail Goodrich was the other one is why they got the pick for Magic. Shaq was a free agent. The Hornets drafted Kobe. The Lakers weren't drafting that high that year, and so that was a draft day trade. Shaq came as a free agent. LeBron was a free agent. Paul Gasol was a trade the NBA should have avoided. And you also had Anthony Davis as a trade, right? So
for me, Magic and Kobe, I mean that's like saying that technically Eli Manning wasn't developed in such and such, because he was technically a Chargers draft pick. But
what I'm saying, the Chargers, but see, there was a trade, but like the reason they got the Magic pick was because they lost a free agent, right? Like an old guy they weren't going to keep, and so like it just feels like they keep falling. The luck of the Lakers and some of that stuff is just like really just anyway. But as they're playing tonight, I'm rooting for the hell for the Warriors just to beat, not have LeBron. We don't have to hear him bitch and moan in the playoffs, and just goodbye to the Lakers and all that stuff. So
be done with it.
Yeah, hey guys, any great things that came your way this week, collecting wise?
I got a couple. A supremely cheap, super short print, whatever Diamond Kings wants to call it. Bryce Harper. So in years past, the Aurora line was an insert, but this year they moved it up to the Art Series rarities. I'll take it for $1. Sure.
That's crazy.
I even upgraded shipping and got, I think it was under $5 shipped. Broke 2 boxes of Diamond Kings today because I can't keep Diamond Kings out of the house. So number 249, Josh Fleming, AP, and Alec Baum.
Ooh, I like Baum. That's
number
nice.
25, debut Diamond Kings.
But by the way, when Alec bombs that bat, like in the like, it looks like a giant holding a twig, right? His batting stance is just very odd looking.
So personally, the Diamond Kings has a silver parallel, wherein it has the team color along the side. Check that out. Chicago black and white photo, silver frame. Gotta love it. Hits were kind of hit and miss, as they do. Claude Forrest Whitley for Houston. A double shot of Miami, Jazz Chisholm, and Sixto Sanchez. And in that the Yankees are in the news tonight, Mariano Rivera.
Very nice.
Nice.
Hey, Rich Frank in the chat picked up my very first Barry Bonds Topps traded rookie. I've never had one before. That's such a pretty card.
86, nice.
Yeah. And hey, so Ken, I changed up the look tonight, bud. I have a new setup here. And then the talking baseball.
Look at that.
Mark
That's beautiful.
Wilkins hit me up and said that since I screwed up and didn't order the Kirby Puckett Topps 11, he would send one my way.
How do you do that?
Look.
You waited so long for that fake Hall of Famer.
The hobby influence, not the FOMO, but like, dang it, I need that. We've talked so many times about like Mark Hoyle will show me something and it's like, dang, what's that going to cost me? Steph's done it to me before. With us talking baseball, I bought the entire A's team set. I think I mentioned that a couple months ago on the podcast. Then I went out after Chris Anderson, who's been on the show with us. He's like, do you have the player? I go out, find the player in my garage, and there's the entire set, including all of the A's. And then he hits me up a couple of days later, and he goes, damn it, Ben, now that we were talking about it, I had to go buy the team set. And it's so fun sometimes when you see things that somebody else has that fits in your PC, right? Just Definitely. Like that, Steph, right? You got your twin, right? We're talking about PC teams and players. So you're not venturing out. So it's not the fear of missing out per se, but it's one of those, I need to add that to my collection sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Similar to this. I figure bump into him at a national, have him sign the box, and that he's been on the show twice.
We have a really good listener named Matt McNeil, which is at 1986 Astros, and he sends me a lot of stuff of the A's because he gets into like American League West breaks at his LCS. So he keeps all the Astros and kind of pieces off the other four teams, but he also gets access to all the Trouts and Otanis. And today I got this. I'm sorry, but the gold's going to pick it up kind of bad, but it's a World Series relic from 2012 tribute when they used to encase it there. I believe I have the green, which was out of 99. This one's actually serial numbered 15 out of 15. So appreciate Matt for that. He sent me some other stuff, but that was definitely the highlight.
eBay
That's
101.
awesome.
It is eBay 101. Speaking of eBay, I had just a fun time this week with a knucklehead, both on eBay and then he hit me up on Twitter. I literally, he sends me an offer on a $3 card. I accept it while I'm at Walmart. I was at Walmart maybe an hour. And while I'm still there, he sends me a reminder to pay. And then he jumps me when I told him, I said, just cancel it, man. I'm not interested in buying this $3 card from you, showing your impatience. I'll get it from somebody else. And he's like, people thank me when I remind them to pay. Why don't you pay right away? It's like, because not everybody sits on eBay 24. I'm on it a lot. I search my guys multiple times a day. But if I'm at the grocery store buying my groceries, I'm not going to pay right away. I didn't make an offer on the card. I didn't buy it now. I didn't win it at auction. I just accepted his offer because I got the alert and figured I'd pay in 20, 30 minutes when I got home. And then as soon as he sent me that reminder, I'm like, don't be that guy. Just give it a day as a seller. Give somebody a chance.
Yeah, I always give 24 hours before I'll at least that, if not longer, for a reminder. Especially if it's something where we were actively going back on offers. So if they put an offer in and I responded right away, and then they came back and responded right away at the counter, like within, I'm talking minutes, and I accept, it's weird to me that they didn't pay right then because you knew they were active on there, right? Then I'll give them a day or so, and like sometimes I'll give it 2 days, and I'll say, hey, this is you know.
Do you still want this?
Yeah.
How many items do you have in your store roughly right now?
Couple thousand, 3,200, something like that.
I super want this Matt Chapman card you have. I offer you counter, so on and so forth. You finally accept we agreed on a deal, right? But now I need some time to go through your store and make sure you don't have anything else I want, because now I'm gonna bundle, right? I've got the card I absolutely want, and usually if I'm doing that, I'll send you a note saying, "Hey, I appreciate you accepting my offer. I'm going to take a look at some of your other stuff first to make sure you don't have anything else." So it's a win-win for both parties. And then I'll pay for either that card or the group of cards. But it's like, don't be that guy that sends a reminder and less than an hour later, "Hey, you need to pay." And when I told him that, he just went off on me. I mean, I've been having so much fun with him this week. Just when I think I'm going to have a slow week, something it's like that Dumb and Dumber, right? Just when I think you can't do anything dumber, you do this. Totally redeem yourself. Thank you, eBay and Twitter. Well done. It was a fun week for me.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, Ken, I got a new setup here. So we got a new monitor thing, stands for my monitor, and I had to move everything around. So got a new angle. Now you can see all the sets back here. And all that you see is, what is that? That's all Donruss, Score, Upper Deck, and Fleer from 81 through 94. All
So
complete sets.
Everything not tops.
Yeah, because the tops are over here in the binders, and then above it is basketball and some basketball sets I have. So
fancy.
Yep. Let's get into it. Last week's releases, the week that was Topps Living Week 166. We had card 413, Christian Javier, rookie pitcher of the Astros, sold 1900, and then we had card 414, Carlos Santana, and it said catcher last week. They updated and put DH. And it's still not right because he's played one game at DH this year for the Royals. He's a first baseman, but hey, no big worries. And he sold one shy of 1,500. So we also had score 21 Score Football drop, 21 Topps Baseball Transcendent Collection Hall of Fame edition, and 21 Wild Card Matte Black Football.
How many Transcendent boxes did you ask, Greg?
Oh, 10, 12.
Because I know I rushed out to get like 3 boxes myself.
I can only afford 4 this time.
Oh.
Yeah, so not bad. And we're gonna hop into it. Hot off the presses, this week's new releases. Topps Living Week 167. Card 415. Will the Thrill Nuschler Clark, first baseman, San Francisco Giants. Hence my Giants attire this evening. And card 416. Carlos Rodon, pitcher, Chicago White Sox, that of the no-no, right? Earlier this year.
Yep.
One of many. He doesn't seem cool anymore to throw a no-hitter, especially this week.
Obviously, this is due to the fact that Rodon threw a no-hitter, and Will Clark was recently sold to Bayside.
Yeah,
that's right.
Right.
Topps has inside ears on the podcast.
Yeah,
and he sent me a message. He was finally excited. He said it only took him 415 cards to figure out they need to have the best player in the set.
He sends me a message and he goes, "Hey, wait a minute. Does Topps Living do parallels?" I wanted so bad to screw with him, and I was like, "No,
don't give them any ideas, dude. Come on."
They're only going to do the artist. Why there's not Chrome versions? I mean, I don't know.
Dude, Sapphire.
Yeah, Sapphire.
Autographed artist proofs.
We could have coordinated because he sent me the exact same question.
You know what's funny though is that he can buy the print of this card later on. It's going to be a while, but I bought all the prints of my guys, Brett, Posey, and Hansen,
and you're not
when they came out
from Minneapolis.
That's what I told him. I was like, I think they're in the 200s now or something like that. I was like, it's going to be quite a few.
But
months.
they are so nice.
Yeah, I'll have to grab one of the A's that strike my fancy. I mean, they make so much of this stuff. How much do you need?
Yeah. And it was like a real big PC thing, and it was pretty inexpensive. And if I ever get a room that, I mean, I have a full like bedroom here, but if I ever had a bigger office or room to keep my cards and I had some more wall space, they would go up like legit.
I only have a room. I don't have wall space.
Yeah.
Some guys work off of like a desk, and that's all they get in their house.
I know.
If I ever,
I used to have I used to have a hall closet that was like as long as the hall, and a full office and some other space. And when you get married and have kids, then they start to eat up all your space. So I've had to downsize.
Priorities, man. Gotta have priorities.
I see that, and then you get like, is it really? No, I'm just kidding. Don't listen to that, Fanny. We also have 2021 Panini Contenders basketball drop today. $550 a box, 12 packs per box, 10 cards per pack. You're going to receive 2 autographs, 8 inserts, and 2 parallels. It's a 164 card base set with 100 season tickets. Those are all the veterans. And then you have 45 rookie season tickets and then 20 rookie season ticket stickers. The rookie cards aren't the only ones that have signatures available in Contenders. There's some sophomore autographs that spotlight those second-year players. So Zion and Ja and those fun guys there. There's veteran ticket autographs, and those resemble the base cards with a signature. And they have their own parallels, including some die-cut ticket stubs. There's rookie ticket swatch patch autographs with premium. The premium parallels have a big, giant piece of swatch. A couple cool inserts they have this time around. A license to dominate returns. And there's also a Superstars die cut, which takes a rainbow approach to the color scheme, which was a pretty good looking card. $550 for Contenders, where the first 100 cards, the base cards, no one cares about. Most people rather have, and I just using this example because it's here, rather have a Donruss base card of Brandon Ingram than a Contenders base card of Brandon Ingram. For whatever reason, most people in the hobby look at Contenders base as 1991 Fleer. And I mean, even the good breakers, they're just like, yeah, after the first break of this stuff, we just send out random base to everybody because no one cares about it.
So, since you brought up 91 Fleer, and my cousin was being overly sarcastic, but my cousin visited this past weekend. I hadn't seen him probably in a good 6-7 plus years with him being a Marine. He's always stationed somewhere that's not local. But he looks at me and he goes, I know that you believe 87 is the true rookie of McGuire and 85 isn't. He goes, but you're going to hate me when I say this. I don't acknowledge anything that came before 91 Fleer. He says the 91 Fleer is the true rookie card for everybody in that set, including McGuire. He goes, it's glorious. And I was like, cousin, I love you, but you can get the hell out of my house right now. I'm not even
not even your cousin anymore.
I said, but I know a couple of people on Twitter that would absolutely endorse this conversation and would stand in front of you, behind you, next to you, arm in arm, and say, yes, 91 Fleer. Nothing existed before it, and nothing has come after it.
Well, we're gonna have a fun discussion later about the rookie card logo and some stuff that just more eBay fun people. We also have 2021 Upper Deck Trilogy Hockey dropped today, $150 a box, 6 packs per box, 4 cards per pack. You're going to get 2 autographs or mem cards, 2 rookie or rookie inserts, and 2 parallels. It's a 168 card base set. The trilogy starts with a 50 card set of top veterans. There are the rookies, the common rookies are numbered out of 99. They have uncommon rookies out of 499, rare rookies 299, and rare rookie triples out of 99. So you have some abilities to get some very low numbered rookie cards in that, which is pretty cool. Signature pucks return 1 in every 27 packs. Rookie signature pucks are 1 in every 184 packs, so even crazier odds. There's some really cool autographs, autofocus rookies, crystallized signatures, and scripted Hall of Fame plaques, which are numbered out of 25, and those looked pretty sharp. And these all come with on-card signatures and are done with a plexiglass stock. Like, how cool is that? I mean, you think hockey, and they got the glass, and they're always slamming people in it. And now you have autograph on plexiglass autograph cards. Like, that's pretty cool. Way to go, Upper Deck. Like, think of it if they had like Green Monster autographs or Ivy autographs. I just woke up.
Connection's dropping. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're there.
Okay.
You and your air conditioner.
It's Texas. It's like 1,000 degrees down there all the time.
Yeah, but it's not Louisiana, so he's all right.
That's true. Check out Ryan Cragnell's articles on Beckett.com/news for more details on all these new releases. We were supposed to have a ton of new releases, and they all got pushed. Oh, Steph's a little behind. There we go. That's this real quick. That's the Star. What were they called? Superstar die cuts. Those look dope. Those look super cool.
It's like they took the idea of Artist Palette and Diamond Kings and said, hey, color is not a bad thing.
Yeah, we like color. Color looks neat, especially like all together like that. And then, hey, Steph, on the Upper Deck trilogy, can you go to the autograph parts with the autofocus?
Not gonna lie, probably gonna buy a box of this.
Yeah, $150, not a bad purchase.
No, we broke a couple years back, and the hits weren't bad.
Yeah.
I think I got a Kirby Duck. I got a Quinn Hughes numbered base card. Former Calder guy, but with a certain. Yeah, speaking of Quinn Hughes, these are cool in person. It's like a little plastic puck, kind of like was it SPX did for football in like 08, 09, 07, somewhere in there.
And there is the plexiglass autos. There's autofocus, and we went through that list there of all the different ones that have the on plexi autos.
Those are pretty cool too.
Dude, like the last few Upper Deck products we've shown, man, the quality and we were talking about this, like thinking of it, just baseball again, man, right? Or a football release or two. How wonderful it would be to see. You know what I would like to see is Upper Deck Archives football. Like bring back, like they never did 89 because they didn't do football until 91. But think of an 89 football Upper Deck baseball design with football or basketball. Like how cool would that look? Anyway, what's brewing next week's releases? Now, I think Panini is trying to get a few things in, for the end of the month type stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So I doubt all of this stuff drops. There was quite a bit of it, but we'll hit the list as of now. 2021 Topps Sterling Baseball, 2021 Upper Deck SPX Hockey, 2021 Panini Court Kings Basketball, 2021 Panini Legacy Football, 21 Wildcard Matt White Football, and 2021 Panini Contenders Draft Picks Collegiate Football. All come out next week. So, Infield Chatter, a hobby talk portion of the show. My dog ate it. Upper Deck Assist tweets out, what happens when a customer claims his dog trashed his cards? We ask for pictures of the card and the suspect. These are always a hit with our team. All damaged cards will be replaced. And what's really, what I really liked about this is that one of the pictures of the dogs, there were three dogs. The second picture of them, there was two boxers, and they had the little black masks. And my buddy Madden, who I lost last year, looked very similar to those guys, and it made me chuckle. So,
well, and this is kind of where I teased in the beginning of the show. I don't know whether the audience got it or not, but I just want my bagel. Well, these dogs obviously wanted just bacon.
So the real quick, the boxer there in the front, the bottom like right corner of the picture, looks dead on. Could have been my dog. Like it's so similar. It's that's crazy.
The picture, the first picture of the dog by himself or herself, looks so sad. Like he or she knew they had done wrong. The second picture with the boxer in the back has this meme mug. Like, I really don't care what you collect. I was hungry and I ate your card. What are you going to do about it? I mean, look at that face.
Yeah.
No apologies. It's done.
Yep. But good on Upper Deck. Hey, we're going to take care of you. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I think they try. They're doing, and they're putting out great product, right? So,
yeah. And they got. I mean, we've talked about it before. Their customer service is exceptional. They've done things for other collectors when they've lost animals, and I know they've reached out to children sometimes. I mean, all kinds of good stories that have come out of that department.
they sent out like 2 years ago. My little buddy Ethan, they sent him a random act of kindness, like a huge package of stuff, and he was blown away. And ever since then, man, the hockey, he was playing hockey, but the collecting bug with him and his mom have taken over, and they've really loved that. So
they were supposed to send me a shirt, and they never did. So I guess I just need to have one of my. I'll have my 3-year-old eat it, and maybe maybe they'll kick me a shirt. So
well, that's like on TikTok. This girl said the way to get a free shirt at any of the Disney land parks is to wear one that shows some underboob. They'll write you a ticket when you walk in, and to go get a shirt. And she's like, "Yeah, I went and I got a $75 shirt for free because I showed a little underboob."
All right, Upper Deck DM incoming. Sorry about your eyes.
What is that, Steph?
Card display stand.
Oh, nice. Oh, there you go. Very cool. G Hamp at Maple Mamba Son tweets out, big day for my boy yesterday, and I take some offense to this one. Big day for my boy yesterday.
Gotcha.
Big best investment of 2021 so far for me. And he tweets out what Garrett Hampson did. He almost hit a site for the cycle the other day and was talking about it. And then in the chat or the replies, somebody says, well, I'm thinking cards, not fantasy. And he goes, well, a little both. And he talks about picking up a handful of cards or whatever. And then someone posts like their Hampson autographs and stuff like, oh, look at this. This is what I have. I'm like, well, that's cute. And Steph, if you roll up to the top, hold on, I want to make it the soul. Then I send out my picture. And now this was just like one of the boxes that I could get to. And so I just busted out the 800 rookies and almost my complete first Bowman Chrome Rainbow, which I have another one coming soon. It should be here Friday. And yeah, so
there are times like this one that just irks you just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
In the hobby where, I get people are brand new. Not everybody's going to have the same collection and resources to invest their money in their PC. I was told I have to use the word invest at least once on the podcast tonight by somebody. So challenge accepted. But I remember one time on Facebook, somebody's like, I'm giving away this Raleigh Fingers relic card to whoever has the best A's collection. And this one guy, and it was a good collection, good starter collection, right? Good low A minor league collection. And he had some Chapmans and some Laureanos. And so for me, it was one of those ones where I happen to have some binders out and I'm like, should I show the T206 set or the 52 Tops set? Should I show this? Should I show? So I posted a handful of pictures and just said, mic drop. Yeah. And I ended up not getting the card. That guy got the card because they were buddies. And it's just like, dude, you can't tell me that guy's got a better collection than me. But once in a while,
it just when he said like my boy, I was like, bro, like really?
Pretty sure
the kid DM'd me the day he was debuting because I broke the news too early on Twitter. Because the Rockies asked me to take it down. Like,
pretty sure I have one of these and a gold one of these for you in a stack.
Nice. But I let it go for a couple of days and I was like, no, I gotta send this out because this is upsetting me. But no, he's having a great season. A lot of people are like, yeah, man, I bought in early and I got some good cards of his this year. And somebody asked me like why I was collecting him, and I'm like, well, my buddy's his big cousin, and ever since the day he got drafted, he's always talked about him. And I said, well, why not? Even if he never makes it, it could be a cheap, fun little PC, and it really has until recently. Holy moly, I've been battling people for cards, and I look hourly now on eBay for new listings of his, and they're there. And a lot of the stuff I have, but it's the lower numbered stuff I'm trying to find. So it's just funny.
Mm-hmm.
This came across. Oh, go ahead, Steph.
Actually, a low number. That's practically all I have left for my Eads collection. He got picked up by the Astros last week.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, pending a call-up, might have more cards to pick up in the future.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, it's seeming... dude, I think Update is going to be kind of loaded this year. I mean, if
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Yep. Up to the minute at J_Michael86 tweets out. So, question for everyone. My local card shop rarely posts pricing for boxes. Instead says call up for the up to minute pricing. How do you all feel about something like that?
So, two things. One, this isn't a bar where you go and get a drink and you just don't know what you're paying until you pay. I can understand wanting to match what the current prices are, but then print a sheet once a day, once a week, once every couple days to say prices for these boxes are this price. I looked it up. Restaurant menu holder things are like $20 for a group of 10 or 20 or whatever. Put your menu of prices in a menu holder, flop it on your desk, and that's your price.
Change it.
You don't have to waste stickies each and every day.
It's not hard. I mean, like what I would say our LCS has been, right? Teammates. I've gone in there when they're changing prices, and it's something they do every morning, the first hour or two, and they go through and they check the higher end stuff first. And then I ask them, I said, is this something you do every day? And it's not quite every day they're doing it, but every handful of days that they're going to go and look and see if product's hot, or if there's like an older stock and, somebody debuted and it's like, okay, hey, they're in here. So we want to put a sticky. Hey, this is where you could find Jared Clinic first Bowman autographs right here.
Sure.
And so it's some of that stuff. It's just like, but have it priced, because if you have somebody coming in that's window shopping, and you have to ask, and then you feel like if you have to ask for the price, then you can't afford it. Remember that? Like you go to a restaurant and it says lobsters market price, and you ask like, how much is the lobster today? Then they're going to be like, oh, you can't afford it. Don't worry. Like, what's a Z job? Remember? Like and some people aren't, they're going to be like, they're just going to be too self-conscious or embarrassed to say like, oh, like I have a limited budget. I can't afford that. So I'm not going to ask it. I'm just going to leave. And so how many potential sales are you losing that way? Yeah, you might lose $10 on a box, or would you rather lose a potential sale?
I mean, how many times have we talked about going to a show and the gal behind the table is, let me look up eBay. Dude, if you're looking up eBay prices, I will go home and buy off of eBay.
No, I'll buy right in front of you off eBay. Hold on. Let me check. Oh, shit, I just bought it.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's okay. Gas stations change their prices every day, right? Mm-hmm. It's okay that you want to stay up with fluid pricing so you're not leaving any money on the table, especially being a small business. I can absolutely respect that portion of capitalism. But again, like you said, Tim, if I open up at 10 a.m., then I need to go at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., depending on how much wax I have. And Steph had a great idea. If you don't want to have to change it every day, then a sheet of paper that has your pricing, a couple of, depending on how big your shop is, maybe on a couple of different, tape it down so that people can walk by and take a look. Hey, how much is your Bowman Chrome? Hey, I've got a menu of, I've got all of my pricing.
Job.
Right there. Hey, I'm okay with that. In my job, we raise prices every year on January 1st. We have to stay up with inflation as minimum wage goes up, as workers' comp goes up. There's a lot of variables, but don't be that person that's going to look it up there right in front of you.
Yeah, my eBay store, I have a couple thousand cards and listings, like cards on there, right? There are times I forget, like if someone has a good night or something, or even sport lots, like I won't have the opportunity to go look it up and it sells. So it's like, okay, well, I lost out, or if I'm paying attention, like that guy's doing well, I'll go make sure I have it priced correctly. But if someone gets over on me for a few bucks, who cares? It must have been sitting there for a while, made a sale. Like I'm going to move on. I mean, it's for me, it's lazy. It's just like it. You should have more pride in your business and your job and that you're putting out to your customer. Because right now the market's super hot. Right now, trading cards are awesome. You talk to a shop owner in 2017, 2018, even 2019, they'll tell you, good Lord, we could never what you're talking about sounds like Disneyland all day to us. What do we have to do to get there? And we're going to talk later about retail and like who's to blame on this. There was a great article in Sporting News written by Ryan Fagan, who's on Twitter, and it's gonna be kind of long. But I think it makes some good points about retail and stuff. But it's just like, right, Ben, like you owned your own company, right? You had a coffee shop, right? What happens if the price of milk went up on you, right? So maybe for the first day, maybe you keep it the same price for a little while because it could be an unstable market, but then you realize, oh no, wait, this is the new price for milk. Then your prices have to go up to reflect that, correct?
Yeah, I was actually working for a company when cheese prices went up considerably. They went up about 400% for a good six months, and I was working in DSD, selling in frozen pizzas. Well, what is on pizza? You know, a good portion of pizza, the main ingredient outside the dough and the sauce is cheese before you get to your toppings. And I mean, it drastically affected us. And yeah, Tim, you're right. There's all kinds of variables as a small market, you know, small company that you have to fight, you know, workers' comp liability.
But that's your job to update your prices, right?
But yeah,
so you don't just go up. Oh God, like this just in. This is now. You know, it's like, come on, like the prices in boxes don't fluctuate day to day that much.
Not that much. No. Updating it once a week, unless something happens where you get a call up. But the thing is, Bowman is already a speculative product to the point where it's already predicated on insane front loaded pricing.
Yeah.
So getting Kalenic up to the majors, there's once we get past the Super 2 deadline, probably in mid to late June, there's talk about Wander Franco making his debut. He's actually got better numbers than Kalenic does.
Hey, by the way, have you seen what Spencer Torkelson's doing in single A?
I haven't.
Dude, like somebody sent, like, I have to, give me a sec. I want to get the right numbers, but go ahead. Sorry.
But, and that's the thing is Bowman going to jump if Franco comes up? I mean, I think everybody and their brother has already dipped their toes in that water, if not just, you know, got waterlogged from sitting in it so long. There might be a slight uptick, you know, 10, 15, even a 20%, but I don't think it's enough to where an LCS is going to get too burned at this point. And again, you're welcome to do whatever you want. If you want to go your small coffee shop charging $4.45 for a mocha and you want to charge $10, cool, that's your prerogative. But don't do it in front of the customer.
Yeah.
You know, just that's all. Don't say, yeah, I'd like to get a large mocha. Okay, well, our prices were $4.45, but because our milk vendor is now charging us 3x for milk, you're now going to pay 10. You know, to me, that's just bad business. And if you have to take, I mean, Steph, you bought that card for $1. That guy didn't know what he had. Okay, he has lost. Your gain. You know, okay, that's what happens in business sometimes. It's just part of it. At some point, it'll even out, generally speaking. And you know, as a small business, you really are. Your lifeblood is the person standing in front of you. And the last thing you want to do is piss them off to the point where they're going to take their business elsewhere in the internet age. Because we've talked about this before, where in this modern junk wax era that we're in, people often say, well, I can't go to any store and buy what I want. Correct. But you have the resource of the internet. You can find whatever you want. So an LCS has to do something to keep you coming through that front door. And generally what that means is instant gratification. It means having access to basically to be able to take it home, because generally it's more expensive. In the old days, we didn't have access to the Steel Cities and the Blowouts and the Dave and Adams of the world, where we can go buy at your price. You know, we had to pay that 30% markup. And the reason you do is because I want to open it right now. You know, Tim and I have been in teammates before and want to open up a box together. And then we just look at it and go, we're literally looking for something to open because we're both standing here. And I remember one time we were looking at a high-end product, like $300-400. Like, nah, dude, we don't need to spend that kind of money on something that we're not going to get our money back on just because we're sitting here, you know,
bored.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah.
No, I can't find where it was, but someone sent out like he's batting like .54 in the lax number of game, like just not doing well. But everybody, what he maybe come back. He's got plenty of time to come back. But the one thing I can say is that I listed a bunch of Kalinick like second, third year Bowman cards, all the stuff with the Mariners. None of the first Bowman stuff where he's with the Mets, and they have been selling like hotcakes. Like can't keep them in stock. So if you have any of those around, list them right now. People are buying them like crazy, and they're unless he becomes like a real high end, very elite superstar. If you even look like Acuna, like his second, third Bowman stuff, isn't really,
so
taken off. So
right now is not the time to buy.
No, it's time to sell.
Right. I was reading an article today on The Athletic while I was at lunch, and somebody had posed to Ken Rosenthal, who still has me blocked on Twitter, so he can unblock me at any time. But they had asked on his podcast, what is more likely to happen with Ohtani? Is he going to end up throwing a no-hitter or have a 4-homer game? And obviously, especially right now, while the water's warm, a no-hitter will probably always be the answer because there's only been like 16 4-homer games. But remember who did it in 2017? Because the hobby went nuts the next day. And that was good old Scooter Gennett, or Gannett, or whatever, however you pronounce that dude's last name. He had that 4-homer game, and the hobby went nuts. I wonder how many of those investors in his cards are still on unemployment.
Actually, just after he did, JD Martinez did as well.
But that was the last two in 2017, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But think about that, right? After he does that, the next day, people were jumping on that train. Come on, that's not the right time to buy, even if that's your guy. You got to buy when the market's not looking. Always look in the other hand. That's where the real magic happens.
Previous on that list, Sean Green, Mark Whitten, Bob Horner, and then some Hall of Fame guys.
Well, hey, but didn't Tuffy Rhodes, was it 3 or 4 that he had opening day that one year?
It's 3.
3. By the way, did you, just real quick, I've not yet read this, but Dave Stewart was arrested for lewd conduct.
Oh, man.
And that came out yesterday. And then I'm reading some other stuff. Reminded me to tell you later about Dave. Yeah, not pleasant. No, I can't find the Spencer Torkelson stuff. But hey, I'm rooting for the best. But when you're a 5'8" first baseman and you're taking number 1 overall, you probably should be able to hit the baseball.
They don't need him. They got good old Spencer Turnbull throwing a no-hitter every 5 days.
He's the best Spencer in the team.
Don't need torque.
Yep. Project 70. We haven't talked about this dumpster fire here for a little bit. Somebody asked me this because Bo Jackson had a card that came out. He was the first Royals card, and the Marlins also got their first card. It was a Gary Sheffield, but it had hats of like all the other teams he played for as well. But it said Marlins, so whatever. Like somebody asked me, "Are you going to buy?" I said no. I said there's nothing in this set. I said I bought the one Posey because he's a PC guy. Plus Blake Jameson did him. So yes, it was a yes on 2 fronts. Blake did the card, okay, and then it was Posey. So definitely. But right now, Jerry Manuel of who's from Sacramento, who went to Cordova High, has 2 fucking cards, and George H. Brett, Hall of Famer, second best left-handed swing according to Rod Carew ever. Doesn't have one. Doesn't have any. And not that I'm mad because I don't want to give this stupid project money, but it would be nice to have one when they're making 7 billion cards or whatever. It's 70 cards for whatever the number is. It just like this set is just, and Doc Ellis has a bunch of cards now, and like the Yankees like legitimately have 4 to 5 cards a week. It's stupid. And I'm congratulations to the Don C. Alex Rodriguez for being the first Project 70 card with less than 1,000 print run at 930 cards.
We said it on the show. It was going to happen by, I think we said June 1st.
And
May
19th.
It's not going to be the last, and it's just. I don't know. If we knew how many cards of each player was going to come out. If they had said, "Hey Tim, you're going to get 8 Bretts, and Steph, you're going to get 6 Puckets," all right, good. Then at least you know what the player. Mantle comes out of nowhere with that. All of a sudden he's now included after everybody. What if he would have been part of 2020, because it literally has the most iconic card of all iconic cards. That's what it should have had. And I have no problem with Jerry Manuel being done. There's been a lot of Tommy Lasordo has 3 cards now.
Don't get me started again on that shit.
But did you just bleep yourself on the
bowl
word? Oh, okay, I thought it was peace as opposed to the S word. Gotcha. All right, I'm cool with that.
No, it's just anyway. I'm lucky enough to be somebody will tag me, or there'll be a group thing about like, hey, here's the Project 70 cards this morning. Like I'm in a fantasy baseball league, and one of the guys sends out, hey, who's Project 70 today, right? So I'll get to see it real quick, and then I know just to move on. And what's up, Bowman Brent hanging out? You watched our podcast a week ago and realized we're live, and he's hanging out with us now tonight. What's up?
Good job, Brent.
We love it. We love all the people coming in and hanging out with us tonight. It's fun live because then you can interact, and we try to chat as they come through. So. But anyway, I just thought it was funny. And then my buddy here at fam_den tweets out at Tops. This is a Randy as a Resurrena Jacob Rochester Project 70 card you advertised. Please note it had the rookie logo, a rookie symbol on it. The card I was sent does not. It's obviously less desirable without it. Any plans to fix it or address this? Now, I've actually talked to him on the phone. He's a great dude. He's in that fantasy baseball league I talked about. And so he shows the picture of the card as it was sold. And in the bottom left corner, right above the R and raise, there's a little rookie logo. And then on the card he actually got, there's not. And technically, he's not a rookie. He was a rookie last season. He had rookie cards.
But he's still a rookie. He's still a rookie in Major League Baseball.
Oh, because of the at-bats.
Yeah, he did not qualify. So, yeah, he's still eligible for Rookie of the Year. But his rookie cards, yes, were last year.
Yeah. So it's on there, right? And then he tweets out later, customer service tried to tell me the card never had a rookie logo. Not only do I have screenshots, but I found multiple tweets and Topps advertisements of the Arezarena with the rookie still on there, still on here on Twitter. So
thanks, Topps.
Well, first of all, he talked to somebody in customer service. Congratulations there. Like that you need to take that as a win, bro. Second of all, yeah, it's crap. It really is. Like, so he wants to send it back and get his money back because now he doesn't want the card. And I agree.
So I had tweeted at Paul Lesko, good friend of the show, that he thanks Paul because he had sued Topps over the John Harrison Topps Now, and he's like, because that disclaimer says subject to change, they literally could take your Randy Arozarena card and slap Evan Longoria on it,
or
say,
have him for a different team.
Yeah, I mean, but FamDen did bring up a good follow up because it sparked a whole conversation about rookie card logo versus rookies, and Ryan Cracknell gave some back information on that, and a lot of it does come down to the Major League Baseball Players Association, what they will allow Topps to do. But FamDen brought up a good point. He goes, regardless of whether or not Arozarena had rookie cards in 2020, so therefore these are technically, I guess, non-rookie cards, second year, even though he still has the Major League Baseball rookie eligibility. His point was these are art cards. So throw the rookie card logo on there. It doesn't matter. DJ Ski had the brilliant Satchel Paige, and in the background, it had the Topps Rookie Cup logo in the background over his shoulder on one of the walls. Well, I'm sorry, but that was not his second Topps card. It's like,
yeah.
Listen, it's a great point. This is art. You can do whatever you want with it. When everybody was upset that Mariano Rivera was featured in Project 2020 as a left-hander,
Oops.
And people are like, "Oh, he's a right-hander," and it's like, this is art, dude. If they want to put 8 octopus arms on the guy, they can. It doesn't matter
Cool.
that he's a left-hander. Maybe that was the intent, like a reverse negative. This crap that knucklehead Bobby Hundreds is doing with all their errors and stuff.
Yeah.
But then the other thing was that our buddy Matt at Cardboard Stats brought up was also the Frank Thomas, I think that was done by Ben Baller, that had the Auburn logo on it. That is different because they did not have the trademark. You know, that's a trademark logo, right?
Right.
Topps doesn't have the rights. That's a legal issue. The rookie card logo on a piece of art is not. I thought the whole purpose of this set is to do whatever the heck you wanted within legal rights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So our buddy Ken at Beans B Card Blog tweets out another wonderful example why I don't have to accept the flip vesters and sneaker dickheads into the hobby. It was an interaction on eBay that went back and forth, and I thought it was pretty funny here. So 1 million Cubs got a message, and I think this is his message. It says, and it's a 1982 Topps George Bell. But back in the day, he used to have Jorge Bell on his card. And it says rookie card Toronto Blue Jays RC. And this guy with 342 feedback tweets, why? Are you calling this, why dot? I don't understand that. Are you, not even spelled out, calling this a rookie card when there's no indication on the card it's a rookie card? Please reply via eBay, not email. Thanks. Yo, bro. And then somebody tweets out like a bunch of pictures of 82, the different 82 Ripkins. So I guess these aren't rookie cards either. Yo, bro, like the rookie card logo, like I don't know when that came about, but when I came back in 2012, I found it shocking there was a rookie card logo on cards. Back in the day, you were just supposed to know. You were just supposed to know it was a rookie card. You were supposed to look at the back and be able to say, hey, yes, this is a rookie card. So I laughed. It just one of those things like, yeah, man, no 1980s rookie card logo. Like, I guess it's not a rookie card then.
Yeah, you know how many cards would no longer be qualified as rookie cards if we went solely based on, if we solely based it on the rookie card logo. The fact that this whole argument and conversation has to happen all the time shows how insane and convoluted the whole argument is to begin with.
Do it the way Upper Deck does.
I seriously
no cards until you release or play a game.
I collect. I seriously don't care 2 licks about that rookie card logo. However, in FamDen's defense, I absolutely can appreciate those folks out there that do. And I would be absolutely pissed and livid if I bought it because of that. And he has every right to want to return it because it was removed after the fact. Are we going to talk about the Nolan Ryan that came out today?
No, but we can real quick. I did put in the notes. Yeah, there wasn't the Nolan Ryan. It was pretty cool looking card, but it had a little something extra left in it.
It did. Steph, you should have it. You should have already known I was going to mention that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where the thing is with the stuff.
Was interesting. This is an angel, right?
California Angel. I was about to say it's interesting
because it had a very 70s vibe to it, like flower power. Like the feeling I got from it was a VW microbus with the white top and it was blue and it had a surfboard and a bunch of flowers and stuff on it. So
very, very hippies. Except that it has Getty images.
And this was brought to the first time I saw this was Cardboard Icons. He put it out there, and it made me laugh. Ben Aguirre just sends it out, and I'm just like, that's funny. Yeah.
What if you bought that card? Again, we're gonna bring this there full circle back to FamDen's thing, right? I'm buying that card right now because I want that card is so dumb for having the Getty images. I just have to have it, and then you get it, and it's been corrected.
It's already been published that it's corrected.
And that's the thing. I want my money back.
Well, and then their site was messed up this week with the Project 70 not offering free shipping anymore, and that got fixed. But like tons and tons of errors. recently with this, and it makes me chuckle. It really does. And by the way, the Posey I got was in a one touch that was a proper size, but it was from, I think, some knockoff one touch, because it doesn't fit in like any of the one touch bags I have from the. And so I'm just like, dude, like, so I'm gonna have to go buy an Ultra Pro one touch and take it out and put it in there, because I can't
If you can find some.
Yeah, that's the problem. By the way, Albert Pujols wearing 55 for the Dodgers. He won. He looks a little fat, and I'm a fat guy, and so I'm allowed to say that. He looks a little thick, a little pot-bellied, but could still hit the ball. But it's just weird to see him wearing 55. And I mean, Seager's wearing 5. It's not like he's going to give it up. He's an active, young player for the Dodgers. But
I really hope that
strange.
he can raise his career batting average by .02 or .002, I should say.
Yeah, but how many hits and at bats would he need? He'd have to bat pretty high, right?
Well, right now he was hitting below 200 when the Angels let him go. I don't know what it would take, because right now he's a career 298 hitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I want so bad for him to be able to hit 300 for his career.
There was a dude that I saw a video of, and he was like, who's the only major leaguer that's ever had 3,000 hits, was it 1,500 runs, and it was a bunch of different stats. Mm-hmm. It was like 600 doubles, 100 triples, 200 home runs, 1,500 RBIs, 1,000 walks, 1,000 runs, and 500 stolen bases, right? It was all these different stats. And I'm pretty sure I got all those right. There's only one major league player ever to do it, and he's still alive. And he's in the Hall of Fame.
Ricky?
Frank Robinson?
Frank Robinson's dead, and no.
Oh, that's right.
He had junk wax cards.
Ricky.
And I'm very disappointed Steph is not the one getting this answer correct. I thought it was George Brett. He had every stat except for the stolen bases. He had a couple hundred stolen bases in his career. He fell quite a few short there. But he was an American League player his entire career. He was
so you're
Cal
saying
Ripken?
me, so career.
No, not Cal. Now Cal Ripken. He was a major league manager.
Tony La Russa.
Nope. God, he's an idiot, by the way.
No.
That guy is that guy has got
he wore the number 4.
Oh, Molly.
Molitor. Paul Molitor. Crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you would have the homers, but
yeah. Anyway, who's to blame? Sporting News put out this article. Who's to blame? Is by Ryan Fagan, and I pulled quite a bit out of it. I didn't put all of the stuff in there, so if you want to go read it, we have the link. I'll have Steph drop it. It's a good read. It's not too long. We're going to cover quite a bit of it here, and there's 4 or 5 different people they blame. They blame. There's like who the group is, why they're to blame, and why they're not to blame. And so we'll get into it. I want to talk about each group individually, and then we'll have like kind of an overview at the end here. But at first, and this is a quote here, at first, it's just a normal supply and demand of the market crisis dictates. And they're talking about the current retail situation with Target's not selling cards currently and putting a hold on it. And it looked like certain Walmarts are having that as well. And this was Jeff Owens, the editor of Sports Collectors Digest, which has recently tracked the industry, since 1973. But there's a sort of seedy side to that when it's leading to fights and violence in parking lots and stuff like that. Now you've got a problem, and it's got to be addressed. I don't blame Target at all for doing what they did. It's a problem for the industry. It's a black eye. And so how in the world did we get to this point? There's plenty of blame to go around. So the first group we're going to blame, the flippers. Why are they to blame? Well, they're the people that go to the retail stores like Target and Walmart and immediately buy and sell them on eBay for 2 or 3 times the retail prices. They're the primary reason you have rarely seen shelves full of trading cards over the past year. Why they're not to blame? It's really hard for me, and this is the author speaking, to fault someone for making money by simply seizing opportunity that's available to literally anybody who could possibly get to a target, as long as they're not resorting. I can't even read. As long as they're not resorting to strong arm tactics. Good Lord, Tim.
Do you want me to read?
tonight. Yeah. So as long as you're not abusing the target people or the vendors, then it's totally fine. Which I agree. If you're there and you have an opportunity, if you found $10 on the ground, you're gonna tell me you're just gonna walk past it? No, you're gonna pick that $10 up.
Dad, the middle of a hurricane somewhere in the 90s, while we're living in Montgomery, maybe Opal. Did the driveway, no, not the driveway, but the parking lot in the apartment that we were living in at the time was starting to flood. So he goes to the sewer drain and he cleans all the leaves out of the way, and out comes floating by a $20 bill. Yeah, okay. Service paid. Thank you, hurricane. But he didn't let that just go down the drain either.
Yeah. So, do you agree with this? Like with the flippers, like they're to blame because they're wiping out the shelves and driving up that and putting that price on there because they had an opportunity, they seized on it.
The country is kind of based upon that effort of seeing. Thought that was muted. Sorry, guys. Seeing an opportunity and taking advantage of it. Seeing, hey, this is $5, but as soon as he gets in the Hall of Fame, it's worth $30.
Or as soon as he passes away, I'm going to put Rip in the title.
Passes away.
Yeah. I mean,
that doesn't mean that it's not a little shady and scummy how some of the people have been doing it. However, I don't fault them if you want to go to a store and see a pack of Prism, get your one per week, and try to flip it for $30. Fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's capitalism, right? Everybody is there to make money. So the simple answer, if we're just boiling it down to the one sentence answer, is it's capitalism. You can't blame them for that. But then the other side where you can is it ethical to manipulate the market intentionally? Just because you can make money at everything doesn't make means you necessarily should. But what they're doing wasn't illegal as long as they were within the rules and restrictions of the retail store. They're not harming the vendor. They're not, threatening anybody. They're minding their manners. Then, if you're playing devil's advocate, they haven't done anything wrong other than buy available inventory.
Right, and that's what I was going to get to. I have no issue with staying within the lines, not stalking the people, and buying your one and trying to flip it. Fine. It's when you're making backdoor deals, or like the guy was in Illinois that went behind the stock room and bought everything and brought it to the front and went through the self-checkout himself.
Yeah.
Little scummy, little shady. Those guys deserve some shame. One-off pack guys, I bought retail boxes to sell.
Yeah. So then there's the eBay buyers. Why are they to blame? The people who are paying the prices on eBay and at local card shops or on Facebook Marketplace, wherever else they might be resold, are the ones driving this particular practice of flipping. No money, no flippers, simple enough. So why in the world would someone pay $40 for something they know cost the other person only $10?
Mm-hmm.
And why they're not to blame. If your goal is finding cards that are worth thousands of dollars, there are another 51 that would have sold between 3,000 and 5,000, by the way. You're probably not too concerned about the difference between $10 and $40 for the pack, right? Primarily, the primary hurdle is finding packs to open, not the cost of the packs to open. If people want to chase a lottery ticket, they're going to chase the ticket.
That's fair.
But I think this is a big part of it because people are paying the prices, and that is why there are so many people trying to go out that they're not involved in the hobby, but hey, this is a side hustle for me, which in the last year and a half has become a really big thing. It's like I can go work for an hour or two and make a couple $100 and not really put in any effort besides physically doing something for a few minutes. Then I'm going to go do that. So, but the fact is, that if people are paying those prices, then they're going to go there. If they're not, and they're sitting there, like I was looking through OfferUp, and this guy had a ton of 2020 retail Donruss baseball, tons of it.
I'm sorry,
and was like, I will give all of this stuff away for $150. And it was a bunch of blasters and fat packs and stuff. And I legitimately thought about saying, hey, yeah, that was a good deal because it's about what he paid. But at the same time, I didn't want to reward him. I wanted to see how low he would go.
Make them
So,
suffer.
it's one of those things that, oftentimes we will overpay for something that we really feel we need or want, right? Sometimes we're a subject of availability, like why we would pay $8 for a bucket of popcorn that we're not going to eat at the movie theater, or $12 for a beer, knowing damn well we could go home and buy a 6-pack for that, but we're at the ball game. And so you're a product of the environment. In this case, that mentality of the gambler, the ripper, I've got to open something. I have just as much desire as the next guy to rip open packs, that unknown, the feel. I mean, we all grew up on that, but I've been able to control that urge because I know that financially it just doesn't make sense for my PC. And I think that's where people have gotten themselves into. I'm okay paying $40 or $60 for a blaster, knowing that I'm paying 2 to 3x because I just need to rip something. And it's like, no, you don't. You think you do, but you don't. This is a hobby. This is not a requirement. You can't eat it. You can't drink it. You can't drive it. You can't live in it. You don't. If you had taken that $40, you can already buy, you can buy whatever you want on the secondary market with that same amount of money and guarantee you're going to get what you want. But that was that false sense of I have to rip it. And I think that's where you can be the funniest comedian in the world, but nobody's going to laugh at your jokes if the audience is empty. So in other words, if buyers just stop playing a role in this, I'm not going to go spend $2,000 clearing a shelf because now I got to eat it.
Yeah. It's weird to me. The next group is the card companies. Why are they to blame? Limited distribution is an issue now, too. The number of places a person can actually buy cards is way, way lower than it was years or decades ago. That makes it easier for a few flippers to clear out an entire area because they're only hitting up a handful of places instead of dozens of locations. Not to go old school, but back in my day, every single gas station had at least a few boxes of packs stuck down on a candy aisle somewhere. I built my collection and my obsession with the hobby, 1 or 2 packs at a time. Why they're not to blame. Topps and Panini are businesses, and business hasn't been good in decades. You can't really blame Topps and Panini because, again, it's the market that what the market will bear. Owen said, yeah, prices are really, really high, but every time they put out a new set, they're gone instantly. Panini declined to comment on Target's decision, and Topps didn't respond for comment. They never respond to anything, right? Because nobody's answering the phone. I don't blame the card companies for taking advantage of this because I can tell you could go back. Well, if you could, but they're not available anywhere. Cardboard Connection Radio talked to the guys at DJ and some of those guys at Panini back in 2013, 2014, when they put they had a minimum price that card shops and online retailers could sell their product at for like the first 90 days. Like you could not sell this product below this dollar amount for 90 days. After that, sell it for what the market dictates because that's how bad it was. People weren't buying. And they had to put a rule in for a minimum. Like, please don't discount our product, please. And now that's the other way. And so they're going to lean into that more and try to make more money. And I don't blame them. But again, the whole distributor model is crazy. But what do you guys think?
It's funny you mention it because I found their policy on
the map.
Panini's minimum advertised pricing policy, MAPP, full retail SRP must be maintained for a minimum of 30 days from the date of release. Includes any and all sales on dealer, net, B2B, eBay, store website, and all other online selling platforms. In addition, no product is allowed to be sold on Amazon ever without exception. Interesting. Okay. Any violators of Panini MAPP will incur consequences for failure to comply, which may include reduction or loss of allocation for future Panini products, suspension of ability to purchase any and all Panini products, disqualification disqualification of participating in any / all Panini promotional programs. Reading it as written.
that whole section pissed me off because it was very naive. You can't compare a 2021 market to a 1989 market as he did.
No.
Well, I used to be able to go to every place, and that's on the manufacturers. It's like a lot of times most of these small businesses run on very thin margins, and where they make their money is on volume. And it's a different. I'm sorry, if I'm a grocery store, I'm not bringing baseball cards in. If Topps could put them in Safeway, you don't think that they wouldn't put them in Safeway? Safeway probably doesn't want to have anything to do with trading cards. It has nothing to do with the manufacturer limiting it. And the thing is 5 years ago, and Tim, I know you buy a lot more sealed retail than I did. 5 years ago, let's call it 2016, they still had the same space allocated inside a Target or a Walmart, correct? That space is still the same as it was in March of 2020, when we really started to see that post-COVID surge and this becoming a greed-predicated, not nostalgia-driven market. How often could you walk into a Target in 2016 and buy a blaster?
Okay, I can even go to 2018-19 basketball season. I remember going into the Target in Roseville and walking up, and they had blister packs or fat packs of the retail, 3 packs of Prism basketball for like $10. I told my wife, I said, good Lord, they still have, that's cool. Dumb Tim should have bought those packs, but I didn't. Real quick in the chat, Brett says, DJ said the Panini retail blasters are going up to $29.99 MSRP. So yeah, that's another thing that we talked about on the show. So going up $10, $30 for a blaster, still not a bad deal, in this time and age. But you could get, even in 2019, you could still get product on a semi-regular basis by going into Target or Walmart or even Meijer or wherever else they're selling. Was it Walgreens?
Pretty much on any given day. Maybe it's pretty blitzed on a Thursday night if the restock is a Friday. But let's not act like, the manufacturers and distributors are controlling and manipulating this market by limiting the allocation to a given store. It's like, no, they're filling the shelf up just as they did all along. There's only so much space dedicated to it. They're doing the same program they've been doing for years. The difference is this false demand that has been created by the other points that the article did hit on. I think this one missed the mark because there's so many variables that they left out. Yeah. But, it is what it is. I didn't write the article.
Yeah. So then the next group is the retail stores. Why are they to blame? It's pretty clear that Target, Walmart, and other stores were not prepared to handle the demand for this product. There was rarely company-wide consistency. Some stores started limiting purchases to 3 items per person months before other stores. Some were down to 1 person per person before others put any sort of limits on sales. Throughout the past year, it's always felt like they were playing catch-up, and that always led to some chaos. Why they're not to blame. Let's take a step back for a moment and acknowledge that the steps Target, Walmart, and others took regarding limiting trading card purchases were actually quite amazing. In what other scenarios would companies whose goal is to sell as much product as possible, as quickly as possible, take steps to slow the sale of a product? That's it's even crazier to comprehend. Oh my God, Tim.
Comprehend.
Yes, it's not comprehend.
Commissions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Comparison.
Other 9-letter C words.
Yeah. There we go. Contemplate was the word. I don't know. I wanted to say complete and tate. I don't know.
I suck at win, lose, or draw.
It's not Target's job or responsibility to ration out the product. The primary reason they've taken steps to limit sales from 3 items per person to 1 item per person to moving everything behind the customer service counter is because of the problems and harassment certain flippers are causing Target employees. I agree. And we've talked about this to death on the show. If I was a retailer and I had to pay my employees $10 to $15 an hour to manage any of that card-related stuff, I would just say, you know what, delete the SKUs from my store. I do not want them here. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. I don't want it, and it's a hassle.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's technology like iPhones or televisions or computers, PlayStations. They are going to be losers, but the accessories are what going to drive people in there. And then buying
It's
like
a
Target, they're going to
console,
buy the
but
other
if you
stuff.
want to play with someone, you need an extra controller.
And you have a whole department built around televisions and
Yes.
PlayStations and Xboxes and toys. So when you get your runs on the Star Wars or the McFarlanes in the old days or any other Hot Wheels chase items, and this is 10 feet by 4 shelves. You know, the margins on a per store basis, they can do without it. They can do without it.
The last, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when you have to look at this multi-layered, because they're going to remove these SKUs. And Tim, you've worked, a lot of years in retail. You remove these SKUs, but what are you replacing it with? Because if these are higher margins, if they're items that, you put sodas, you put chips,
bagels.
Hey, look, it's the 4th of July. Put all the that crap up there.
Yeah, I'm standing in line and I got my kids and I look over there and I see the Pepsi Cola and the Doritos and I'm like, go grab me some Doritos. They're 2 for $6.
What Doritos are you buying? It's 2 for $6. You have to buy 2 different flavors. What 2 flavors are you buying? Go, and there is an answer. And if you're wrong, I'm kicking you off the show.
Right on red.
Nacho cheese and nacho cheese.
Oh, okay, I could go with both nacho cheese. But if you had to go with second flavor,
gotta be Cool Ranch. Those I don't venture far from home.
Okay, the third option besides red and blue, the taco ones, because they had those back in the 80s and they've recently bought them back. The taco flavored Doritos, pretty tasty.
Were those green bags?
No, those salsa verde. This is like an orange bag and it has the old Doritos logo.
Gotcha.
It's got the white top and the orange on the bottom.
It's weird. It's weird. Just real quick, I take certain pills for, diabetes and high blood pressure and stuff. For some reason, whatever I'm on has me addicted to nacho cheese Doritos. Like, I got to eat a couple every day. And so I'll probably die like 17 years earlier. But at least I'll go out with the glory of that on my tongue.
Stimulus checks are the last group here to blame. Why are they to blame? The distribution of stimulus checks was not necessarily well organized, and untold numbers of people received them even though they didn't need the bank account boost to weather 2021 or 2020. For those people, the stimulus checks were basically found money. And what do you do with found money? You spend it on non-essential things.
Stimulate the economy.
Why are they not to blame? The money that flooded into the hobby wasn't just from stimulus checks, of course. With the country essentially shut down, travel has stopped for those Americans who didn't lose their jobs or suffering through furloughs. According to a report, travel spending plunged 42% in 2020. Dining out stopped. Money that would have been spent on dinners, long vacations, road trips, or weekends at the beach sat in the bank instead. For some people, that money didn't sit too long. I agree, because now, instead of spending $100 on a dinner date and a movie, you can take that and go buy some wax. And what more fun than doing that? And a lot of people have the time to dig out their cards and say, gosh, I remember these.
Yeah,
Are they worth anything? No, because they're from 1990, but hey, that's cool.
You have to add a 1A and a 1B, and you can put them in any order you want, stimulus or unemployment. They both are linked, because just because you got a stimulus check doesn't mean you were out of work. It just means you were underneath a current, income threshold
of a 75,000, which is a pretty
or
decent income in America, or 150 as a couple.
And then you got even more if you had. Even more if you had a couple of little, mini versions of yourself running around the old Adobe, but it's the unemployment, because what the unemployment did was, and oftentimes if you were making minimum wage, you were making more money with your unemployment plus your COVID unemployment. But the big kicker is, I don't have to go anywhere. I got no job.
Yeah.
So I can go sit inside Target because that is my quote unquote
I'm getting paid
job.
Government money.
I'm getting paid, and the side hustle is now my income supplement. Getting a cash infusion of $1,200 or whatever the multiplier is. If you had during this last round where you got X amount plus for your kids, good deal, fantastic. But that I think it was really the unemployment that I got no job. I can go chill at the retailer and I can go chase a vendor around town because the state is paying me to have this opportunity, where a lot of us that want that blaster just to collect, to rip, maybe we had our job and we didn't have that opportunity to meet the vendor at 8 a.m. on a Friday.
Yeah. And no offense to Rich, but we've kind of liked not having to drive all the way up to Allen each and every day.
Yeah. My wife has been, I mean, when she had our daughter, she was on maternity leave and she was supposed to go back late March 2020. She never went back. Like they shut the office down before she could go back. And the day she went back, we had to go pick up her stuff and bring it back home so she could work here. So she's been I talked to my wife's cousin Patty this weekend, and she's might be taking a job at the post office. So I might have an in now at the post office, but in a different city. But at least I can ask the post office questions that I have.
I have access to one of those too. Very
nice. And she before was working at Red Robin. If you're not familiar with Red Robin, it's like I think a better version of an Applebee's hamburger, fries.
Burger, sure.
Burger place.
Bottomless fries.
And their steak fries are pretty tasty. And they have that seasoning that everybody steals. If you don't have a Red Robin, you don't have a Red Robin shaker in your house. What are you doing? But she was telling me that they all got furloughed, right? They all got laid off because they shut down. And she lives out in, anybody's familiar, it's Woodland, California. It's not a big city, but they called her back and said, hey, you want to come and work? You can work as many hours as you want. You can work wherever you want in the restaurant. We need people because, one, no one is applying and no one wants to come back because they're making more sitting at home on unemployment and doing side hustly things where it might not be reported income. And so they're just chilling and having a good time. And you got to think, most restaurant employees, fast food employees, right? They're in their, late teens, early to mid 20s. And so to have all that, think about that when you were 22 years old, right? Say you were 22 years old and someone was going to pay you more than you were making at your job to stay at home and play video games all day. Which one of us is not saying no to that? Right? So, I mean
22, I was working at the stadium hawking hot dogs all summer.
Did you get free hot dogs?
I did. I worked in the free hot dog season ticket area.
We can tell.
I worked at an independent Chico Heat one summer, and I worked the vending snack station that they had there in this little tiny stadium. But I got to hear baseball, and at the end of the night, we got all the free food, all the stuff that was left over. My roommates, we lived on hot dogs. But no, the stimulus thing and the unemployment money, it's like, why wouldn't you go and just have some fun with it? It's like,
I've been in a lot of, I have weekly meetings with fellow economists throughout the nation, and we all were very wrong on the outlook of what we thought the summer was going to look like last year, because not because we didn't anticipate the stimulus checks being deposited, because they were really infrequent. From that first one to that second one was 6 months. It was ridiculous. It was really the increase in unemployment, because people were being paid more money to stay at home and had more time on their hands to do things like that. And as it related to this, that's why, throw a random number out there, 70-80% of the flippers were not hobbyists. They were just capitalists. They were people that had time on their hands. And you could tell, because if you were in a Facebook group, you would have people that, when they were trying to sell, had no clue what they were selling. They just knew that I paid $20 and somebody out there will pay me $55. And you could tell the level of education based on the hobby, right? Not their personal education, but their hobby education of what they were buying. And, then all the pictures of, hey, I just got these in my cart. Did I do good? What do I have here? And it's just like, if you have to ask.
I have opening day. I have fire. I have gallery. And
back off a gallery, dude. One day you're going to see a gallery card you love, and then you're going to have to
the gallery
on
cards
where
everybody's face looks like they're melting. drooping like everybody's had like bad plastic surgery.
Can't be worse than 2010 Chico.
I like Chico. I liked what was the other one too, Steph? Was it Philadelphia, or the football ones had Philadelphia? I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of looked like the old Goudies.
Yep. So Market Watch had a story posted, and I said bots are going to bot. Target stopped selling Pokemon and sports trading cards in stores out of an abundance of caution. We've temporarily decided to suspend the sale of MLB, NFL, NBA, and Pokemon trading cards within our stores effectively May 14th, Target told Market Watch on Thursday this past week. Mm-hmm. Due to this demand, many Target stores removed all cards from their shelves and only sold them at its customer service area, according to the retailer. Shortly thereafter, the company put up signs saying the cards would be sold only on Fridays at 8 p.m., causing people to wait outside for hours for the store open. Target informed Market Watch all trading cards will be sold online from now on. Now, that's really all the article said. I've heard some other people, I've read some other people saying what they're going to do is have in-store pickups. So you have to be local to be able to, you go buy the cards and it's in local pickups only. I'm not sure if that's true or not. That would be a little more helpful if you physically had to go and pick up the cards yourself. So we'll see. But at least now the website would be working, doing quite a bit of the work, and the employees are still they're still picking off the floor, picking items off the floor like they normally do. Now trading cards are just added on there. So I guess that's a little better.
Temporary, lasting for a limited period of time, not permanent. And that's from VP of Sales, Product Development at Panini America.
No disrespect to DJ, because he works for Panini, but towing that company line, he had that press release the other day that says we're still partnering with Target, and I had made a comment about them doing away with it, and somebody's like, well, DJ just released this press release that refuted it, and it's like, it didn't. I'm right and he's right. They're still partners.
And within a week, things changed.
Like the next day it changed, and it's like, you can still be partners. Panini can still sell to Target. It just means Target will be selling online and not in store. So therefore he's right, and therefore I'm right, because they're removing it from the store.
And a perfect example of this, I haven't found any blasters of DK in the wild. However, I was able to order 2 of these from Target.com.
And this is the one thing too, and it's really a brilliant move, because Target's overhead online is different than that in store, right? And Tim, if you go right now, or Steph, right, you go to the old Target.com to buy yourself a blaster, and it says, not available for in-store pickup, shipping is $7.99, free shipping over $50. I bet you guys ask your wife, because I do the same. Hey, you need anything from Target? Because I need to get some free shipping. I bet those of us that go to Target.com to buy blasters end up building a bigger ticket, because we all do that. We all have a tendency to add more to our cart to save on shipping or the ease of convenience. If I'm already having the ship to my house, I might as well have some lotion and some M&Ms too.
Real quick, what happens? And I see Foul Five's balls question. I'm going to get to it though. Real quick, what happens to all the retail only parallels, right? So if you can't get the retail product, what happens to it now? Because there's a lot of retail only exclusive inserts and or parallels that, again, like obsessed team collectors want or player collectors want. And now if they're not available, or more limited than before, because now there's less retailers offering this stuff, what happens to all that? Those values, right?
Toys R Us went out of business, and they had the purple parallel in flagship, and now that is over at Meyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happens. It might be harder to get.
I'm talking current year stuff though. Like right now, they suspend it, and there is flagship only colored parallels at Target or Walmart, or there's DK only Diamond King's retail only inserts or whatever's, and now you can't find them anywhere. You were talking about this, like the Heritage High number from last year retail never came out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. It's just at some point you have to take it off your checklist. Those cards will not exist. If Diamond Kings is the last regardless of sport, if it ends up being the last sport retail card to go into Target, then all of those parallels just cease to exist, which does suck if Series 2 doesn't hit retail, if Update doesn't hit retail, because if you built retail-only exclusives from Series 1, then your overall Master Team set, if you want to chase that parallel, ends with Series 1, which is what happened when Toys R Us went out of business. Series 2 and Update never did get those purple parallels that year. Yeah. Whatever it was, 2016 or 17, I forget.
So Foul 5 Ball says, any thoughts on the Beckett baseball removal of pre-2000 cards? I've not heard of that. So they're not going to have any cards in the Beckett listed before the year 2000?
I mean, they've always kind of trimmed where needed to fit print or whatever guidelines, whether it's just not having pricing for every single card in the set, or if it's limiting certain sets from the price guide. I mean, isn't this all still online, or is it saying it's eliminating it there too?
No, I think maybe it's the print media physical machine.
So but that's
my question. Then why have it? Why not just have it be take out the prices and just have articles?
It'll be gone in a couple of years, like most newspapers are going to online exclusive, right? Didn't the Dallas Morning Star or something like that a few years back eliminate their paper model, except for maybe on Sundays? That's what you'll see is maybe Beckett releases a master price guide once a year, but the problem is there's so much product that the Beckett price guide, because it has to be printed 2 months early, and we've said this, it's my pinned tweet for the last umpteen years, you can't go based off of Beckett pricing because it's old the day it comes out. Well, the Beckett released today, yeah, but the pricing in it is 2 months old. So all they're doing is driving your subscription from, your in-person Beckett magazine to an online subscription. It really is brilliant in that sense. And the fact is that they release so much product each year. Mm-hmm. How much of that, like you said, Steph, how much of that can really fit into this magazine without it looking like the damn Yellow Pages?
I mean, I keep a copy of the quote-unquote big book around here just for research purposes, or I wouldn't say pricing per se, but just to get a guideline of what certain prices
or what card or insert set did this specifically come from.
Yeah, sure. When a trading card maybe doesn't have it, but
listen, guys, I got trading card database, I got baseball card encyclopedia, I got eBay, and I got Sport Lots. I don't need Beckett.
No, I understand, but my question is say the internet's out for 2 days, and you need to research something. I mean, I get it. I completely understand. But sometimes it's nice to physically have something. Sometimes I like to nerd out and read through stuff. Mm-hmm. Like I have old sports encyclopedias I still thumb through. I just thought that was an interesting question. I hadn't heard of that yet. So.
Here's the thing: if the internet's out for a couple of days, it's already Little House on the Prairie at my house, and I'm going to feel like the Waltons.
It's going to turn into The Shining really quick. Without eBay at Ben's house.
I'm going to start eating a 3-year-old kid with some ranch dressing. I'm going to be like, listen, dude.
Keep on ranch dipping.
Yeah. Bottom line is I got bigger problems if my internet's out than the eBay.
I'm not going to turn into the Warriors.
Yeah,
clinking glass bottles together.
This has probably been a long time coming. I doubt this is a decision they made last week. It was just a matter of when to roll this out. It sucks for the longtime collectors, but understand this too. And I know that Foul 5 Ball collects older stuff. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where for the people that collect pre-2000,
the prices are pretty stagnant.
They're pretty static. You really aren't going to need there's not a whole lot of movement.
I'd even say before 2015 for the most part.
Well, unless somebody gets in the Hall of Fame, right?
Sure.
Unless somebody like something really big happens, they hit some milestones. So last week we talked about Luka, right, in Zion and in the grading and all that fun stuff, and that was a lot of fun. But Serbia Sports Cards tweets out, remember when people said you couldn't lose money on Luka? I remember people saying you couldn't lose money on Luka. And it's a tweet talking about just the prices of his stuff right now have gone down a little bit. And my buddy Brian, we talked about this a little. a little bit. He goes, and Fielder's Cards is the one that kind of started the conversation. Never thought I'd see the day when a Luka Prism PSA 10 would be listed for $900. How far does it drop after the Mavs get eliminated for the playoffs? $750, $700. 6 months ago, this was an $1,800 card. So it's half of it what it was 6 months ago. And so my big thing is look at the amount, the pop report just on PSA. 30,236 Luka Panini Prism card number 280 have been graded. Just the base. 30,000. 10,000, 16, almost we'll call it 17,000 because it's like 50 short. 17,000 of those got 10s. So over half of the cards graded by PSA have gotten a 10. There's 12,000 that have gotten a 9. Guys, there is a lot of this out there. And then somebody in the chat said, remember the 89 Griff? Yeah, there was 70,000 of those graded. But it took us, 30 years to get there? So
if somebody ever started a sentence in this hobby and said, I never thought I would see the day where you would lose money on fill in the blank, I would say, if I'm ever going to start a Ponzi scheme, give me those people's numbers because I just found my first marks. You can lose money on anything, and most likely you will. Maybe not you, the quote unquote you. Somebody's going to lose money on that stuff at some point, someday. It may not be right away, but eventually everybody's going to lose on something. You don't get right-sided trajectory very often indefinitely with some level of sustainability. This guy right here on my chest, the 52 Mantle, the 2011 update Trout, the Gretzky, the Jordan, there are going to be some on a very small list that will probably always have that right-sided trajectory. But back to the 52 Mantle. When this bubble bursts, the prices we saw the Mantle sell for in that bubble, if it's selling for 5.6, what if the next one sells for 3.2? You lost money, and you lost a lot of it. Doesn't mean it's not insane, stupid money, but you lost money, everything. And the more that 32,000 number goes up, the more people are going to lose money on Luka. It's just, it's the way simple economics work.
And there's so many people. I have 3 sitting behind me that aren't graded, that would get 9s or better, probably. Not that I'm going to go grade them, but there's still tons of people that have these. And so my whole thing is, I think it's hilarious to me.
So because it was mentioned, I pulled it up. 151,501 1989 Upper Deck cards have been graded. There's some with plus qualifications and qualifiers, OC, whatever. Nearing 80,000 of them have been Ken Griffey. So 80 of 150, over half.
Yeah.
And 3,900 of 27,146 were 10s. So about
and that's
10,
only
11, 12%, something like that.
And that's one company.
Mm-hmm. One card.
What about GMA, which we know is the gold standard of grading? I mean, how many has he graded out of his trunk? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn. The Warriors just lost. That means they have to play Memphis tomorrow to be the 8th seed. So LeBron hit a 3. Anyway, speaking of PSA, they are confused on their shipping again at Tay Dwyer 8. PSA cards, please contact me. You sent me someone else's order and I'm missing many of my cards. Your phones don't get answered, so please help. A few tweets later, it's all Luka cards too. I hope to see them again. I'm missing 14 Luka rookies. You think I'll ever see them again? And then who was it on there? He was going back and forth and said you don't have to defend them blindly. Old Town Cards. He was going to Old Town Cards for saying, they pick up their phones. They're open 7 to 5. They always answer. And he's like, no one's picking up when I'm calling. And then I think, somebody else reached out to him. And I think he got hooked up with somebody there. But, this is like the 3rd or 4th time we've heard this of them like shipping cards and them not getting to the right person. And think how many orders and stuff they're going through that. And think if you sit in 2 cards, right, and they were a couple $100, but then you get a box full of Luka rookies that are all 10s and 9s and 10s.
Probably not returning it unless you're getting bought out.
Yeah.
So Beckett's done 38,000. They've ordered 4 black labels and 113 10s. That's 2 companies, guys.
That's a lot of cards.
So anyway, again, with the grading stuff. Anyway, Breaking Bad at MKG_sports, and this is via MC Skizzle. Saw this on Facebook earlier. Be careful who you break with. A lot of shitty people out there looking to take advantage of your trust. I love
Hello,
this.
everyone. I am seeking some advice regarding a break where an Austin Martin Orange Shimmer number 25 auto redemption build from 2021 was pulled. Long story short, this is so not much short rather. Breaker canceled my order and refunded my cost for Toronto, and then proceeded to close the Instagram account that he held the break on last week. Obviously, I was scammed on this one, and I'm not sure if I have any real options to pursue via eBay. My thinking is that a refund for a break is sensible when the break is canceled, but when the break is completed live, it's my opinion that once a card is pulled, I instantly assume ownership of any card pulled for a team that I purchased. Makes sense. And therefore, a $100 refund pales in comparison to a card that is at minimum $3,000, with one sale on eBay of $9,000. Maybe my thinking is flawed, and all I'm due back is my cost to buy in. Does anyone have an experience with issues like I've described, and if so, what was the result? I doubt eBay would be interested in crediting back to me more than the cost of the break that was already refunded by the breaker.
And so this breaker was going by White Mamba. He says, it was only my 3rd break ever, and I only have like 8 reviews. And he goes on to say, no more breaks. He said, no more breaks. Yeah, no more breaks for me. He tweets a picture. Dude, you're messed up. Then somebody replies, dude, you're messed up. Imagine who, then somebody else says, imagine that was you who bought in. Go to Card Hell. And he goes, yeah. And then White Bomber says, I'd see 8 reviews and be like, yeah, I'm never seeing that card again. It's illegal to refund someone. Is it illegal to refund someone in a break if I pull a $10,000 card? And someone said yes. He goes, I know it's frowned upon, but how is it illegal? And then the dude's like, I mean, he paid for the spot, and then you hit a good card, you will lose your rep. And he says, I'm fine with it. That eBay page is about to be clipped.
I don't know that it's illegal. I mean,
I know
it's bad on every level, but I don't know that it is illegal because it's not regulated.
Yeah. And then he goes, I use a card name, not my actual name. And he goes, not theft. If I refund it, in my opinion, I'm all legally binded on eBay too. That's that's a one in a lifetime pull. Then I'll never use like, and then someone's like, eBay can, force you to give him the card. He goes, then I'll never use that page and I'll cancel eBay. Whatever. Like I pulled the card. It's mine now.
But, and I'm not saying that this is the case here, but Kevin Rashidi, Esquire, tweets about basketball. The user who got scammed wants to get in touch with me. I could help him out using the evidence from Discord. Hey, PayPal, here's a subpoena for name, rights, and records. We have a lawsuit pending. We need information about user at such and such.
Yeah.
Congrats. You got over $100.
So the one I'm glad that this was brought to us. The whole reason I wanted to talk about it tonight is that you kind of get what you pay for. And I understand it's hard for new breakers to hop into this. But again, reputable breakers. If you're not sure who to break with, ask a friend. We can tell you, we're always going to speak well of Mojo, Underdog Collectibles, our buddy over Bayside Breaks.
Yeah, Midwest.
Right? Midwest, Crack and Wax. There are Leighton. There are so many reputable breakers out there. Even local, if you have a local shop, I guarantee they don't maybe break, but they have a breaker that they work with, right? Or that they know that they can recommend to you. You can ask us on Twitter, and I'll tell you all day long who to go see. There's tons of them.
Yeah.
And if you're like, it's an Instagram break, right? Or if it's a Facebook break and there's like, you know, you need to get, it's like when you make a trade on Twitter. Hey, can you rep? You see people, hey, can you rep and say I'm a legit guy? I'm going to make this deal. Because that's all you have online. And once that name's burned or your picture's burned or whatever, you're pretty much done. It's hard to, there's some people have come back, but it's pretty hard to do. So
imagine this guy in his third break pulls a, I saw somewhere $9,000 card. I don't know if that's really what it was. I saw 3,000, 9,000. Let's call it a $5,000 card. Imagine this dude in his third break pulls a $5,000 card, reaches out to the buyer of the spot and says, listen, I pulled you a $5,000 card. I don't want to necessarily send this in just a old bubble mailer.
Mm-hmm.
How would you like me to send this to you? And try to coordinate it to ensure its safety, because it is an extremely valuable card.
If it's me, this was a redemption, I would say, hey, just text me the code.
Sure.
Yeah. And
I'm going to redeem that thing right now.
You pull a $5,000 card in your third break, and you follow through with what you should do and get it to this buyer. Imagine this guy could put himself on the map as, whoa, this dude is new. Everybody has to start somewhere. We open up a Twitter account. You've never tweeted. You open up a Facebook account. You have no friends. You open up an eBay account. You have no feedback. That's what happens. Even when you have friends on Facebook, you probably still don't have friends. But
that's because you have friends on Facebook.
Everybody starts out at 0. And this guy's in his third break, and he pulls a monster card and follows through. Imagine how much money this guy might make as a reputable breaker moving forward. That is an opportunity cost that he lost. And, we'd have to bring on James Kikowski to ask about the legality of what that buyer could do now. But, if he sues the guy, if he can get that information of who this guy is behind the White Mamba name, absolutely, it might be worth his time. It's just an issue of, being able to document the quote unquote worth of that card in a fluid market, because it might be worth $5,000 today, but that doesn't mean it will be 6 months, a year from now when that lawsuit goes to court.
It's just, it's just one of those things is you got to be careful. You just do, because there are people like the Brandon Cooks guy at 99. There are people swapping stuff. Go to Sports Card Radio and see all the D-bags on there they've talked about, then breaks and stuff that have gotten over on people.
The dude we talked about that had the picture in the window when he went because somebody was at his door. Nobody was at his door.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah. Let me see. I'll be right back. Yeah. Right. Yeah. The last question here, the question of the week, and I stole this from those back pages, and he tweeted out today about, paying a premium for a card. And I wanted to know, would you guys pay a premium for a jersey numbered card? So for Ben, like if it was a McGuire, right, and it was numbered 25 out of 99.
That's funny.
Would you pay more for that card because of that, or would you don't care because you want the best deal and you don't care if it's numbered 36 out of 99?
I just bought a Diamond Kings Cardinals McGuire insert out of 99, and it came and it was 25 out of 99. I didn't know it was 25 out of 99, so the answer is no. You can't fall down that rabbit hole. The only one I think that you can warrant, and I did buy one out of Tribute, and I mentioned this on the show before, was a Topps Tribute Jackie Robinson numbered 42 out of 99. And I sold it for a lot more money when I needed, finances weren't great and I needed to buy some stuff for my kids. Got a great return. I think I spent $20 on it at auction, and I ended up selling it for $150 because it was numbered 42 out of 99. But you start to chase that, and the amount of money, all things being equal, if they're both on eBay and one's listed for a little higher and it's, extra 10-20%, sure. But when you start to get into 50% plus, pass.
Yeah, I'm not a big thing on the numbered cards. As long as I have it, then I'm good.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, I'm not going to hunt it down, but if I see, for my Eats collection, if I see 37 of 9.99 or 9.99, 9.99, and whatever serial number, sure, I'll pick it up because it's probably just $1 anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there was one card I bought from Tyler Murphy on Twitter at hey, it's T Murph, and he had a McGuire, I forget which, Clearly Authentic, I think it might have been, and it was numbered 25 out of 25, and it was a blue parallel, and it was like, I would reckon to say that one should probably end up in my PC, and he gave me a smoking deal on it, so there was no question. I told my wife, I was like, I think I want to buy this card. She goes, do it. I'm like, no, I mean, like, I already bought it. I was just letting you know that money's going to clear our account tomorrow, sweetheart. But
yeah,
I'm actually more enamored with 1 out of 25 than I am for 25 out of 25, because 1 out of 25, I was born. My wedding anniversary is January 25th, so I think 1 out of 25 is cooler because of that connection. Unless I get divorced, and then that date can go to hell.
Well,
what's
one
funny
for Shep. How about a 79 of 99?
Yeah. I mean, if it happens to luck out that way, I'm fine with it. Like I bought my first George Brett auto I bought when I came back to the hobby was out of 2000. It was 1985 out of 2000, the year they won the World Series and all that stuff. Funny you mentioned anniversaries. Mine. What's up?
How about Independence Day? 17 out of 76.
Yeah, see, I don't. Yeah, I don't care. It's so hard. They're so hard to find anyway. Just give it to me.
But how much more would you pay for that if 19 out of 76 was half the price?
Yeah.
And a lot of it depends on what does half the price mean. Are we talking about $5 to $10, or are we talking about $50 to $100? Because I might jump at 10 if it's a cool numbered card that I have a connection to.
My anniversary is a week from Friday. And we're actually going at it 5 years. I made it 5 years, everybody. Don't I get a prize? I haven't made it quite. I haven't made it quite yet.
5 years and 2 months here.
Very nice. And so yeah, we're going to go to Monterey for the weekend. Just the two of us.
Me and you, or you and B?
No, my wife and I. But if I don't come back, you guys know where to start to look.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
So. We'll see. But guys, any final thoughts before we head out tonight?
Nothing pops off.
You know, I was asked. Somebody had naively tweeted, "There is no state of the hobby. The state of the hobby doesn't exist. Stop talking about it." And I'm like, there's a state of every industry, of every market. There's always a state of. It's very naive if you think otherwise. But I was going back and forth with a card shop owner. I don't know where his card shop is, but he asked me, I said predominantly over the last couple of years, the state of the hobby has been more negative than positive. And he asked me why, and I went through a lot of the micro variables, the macro variables, the socioeconomic variables, the quantitative variables. And he's like, I disagree. He goes, I think it's more positive than negative. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. And I think we do focus, especially on social media, on a lot of the negative stuff, because there is a lot, and it's been that way since about 2017, and it's cyclical, so it's not going to be that way forever. It's right now, I would say it's probably 60-70% negative. I think right now we need to go out of our way to focus on the positive stuff in the hobby, because it's a hobby. It's what we love. And I think that starts with the people. We've said that a million times on this show. The networking, the friendships, the relationships, the brotherhood, the sisterhood.
Well, there's more good people in this hobby than not. But the bad ones stick out more than not. And again, that always goes for memorabilia dealers too, because I get an icky feeling around those guys. But anyway, that's just me.
But social media also is predominantly negative. Yeah. And a lot of times when you're reading something in text, it's also your perception of those words, right? Mm-hmm. my sarcasm, my connotation, my inflection sometimes gets lost in my writing. It comes across very asshole-ish. And a lot of times it's not intended to be that way. It's just my writing structure. And so sometimes it's perceived on the other end. And if you're, again, if you're having a bad day, you're going to read something and you might take it out of context because it's not that person's intent. It's your perception thereof without getting into all of
the internet's full of really soft folks, right? That's where they can feel like people that don't have control and want control. That's a great place for them to exercise that, because they can, it's like, you don't know who I am, that kind of stuff. I don't know. And so again, that's again a huge reason I stay off Facebook, because go spend an hour. You know what? Don't do that. But you better off spend an hour like burning ants with a magnifying glass. But anyway,
that was the final thought is, there is a lot of positive. And I was asked specifically why the negative state of the hobby, in my opinion. So I outlined it for the guy, but it's at the same time, we need to focus on the positives, the beyond the friendships, focus on your collection, the positives. What do you like to collect? What I went back and forth with John G the other day and a couple of other people. Somebody posted the 1988 Topps, a Reggie Jackson. And I'm like, God damn, that's a good looking card. I should super collect that card because it's a good looking card. It's not a rookie card. It's not a valuable card, but you know what? It's a good looking card. So maybe find a card that you really enjoy.
But doesn't that card not exist? Wasn't that a made up card?
It does. Yeah. It's not one you can go out, because his last ones was 1987 Topps traded. But that's the thing is, the idea behind it being, find a card in your collection that has meaning to you, but maybe nobody else, Go collect the 1983 triple play Harold Baines, where he's got the huge bubble, the 84 Glenn Hubbard, the Jay Johnstone.
You can't collect Harold Baines.
But find one in your collection, grab 9 of them, stick them in a page, put them in your favorite binder, and have fun with it.
I love Twitter too much.
It's just thoughts from me.
Yeah, final thoughts from Steph.
One, I might have been paid off to say I just want my bagel. And second of all, go wild.
Jesus, last time we ever congratulate you on pulling a card you wanted.
We're tied 1-1, so I'm pulling out any Magic Mojo things that I can.
Speaking of that card, did you see the one? I know you thought about buying another one. I tagged you on Twitter earlier today. Somebody was selling one for $1.25, 130 somewhere in there. I forget.
I'm thinking about it.
So,
hey, Angela.
My final thought tonight. Let us know. You have to buy two bags of Doritos, and they have to be different flavors. Let us know what your 2 flavors are. I want to hear from the people.
And if one of them is not nacho cheese,
yeah, one's got to be not. What's the second one? Right? Yeah. That I want to know. Remember, we're live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and review our show on all platforms. Follow us on Twitter about the cards. Follow Ben at our trading cards. Follow Steph at Junkwax Twins. You can always follow me at Big Shep 79. Please share your hobby stories. Great pull. Send your questions our way. Keep collecting. We'll see you all next week.